Hey, well, we wanted to pop in and just chat with y'all for a little bit because we appreciate all of our volunteers and kids ministry so much, and we cannot do this without you. And there's been some really big changes happen this last week, as you heard. Big changes.
Just last week.
We heard about them last week also, so please don't think we were trying to keep something from you, because we weren't. That's just how we roll. And so we are changing up our service times and what they're going to look like. So the whole vision behind the changing of the service times really came from Keith and Greg, and just how committed our church is to reaching our community as a whole. Mm-hmm. What we know is that we were getting to a place where something had to change. Our services are getting larger, and it was either time to add a fourth service at the end and go from 12:30 to 2 o'clock, which no one wanted to do. Yeah. We like food. We're ready for lunch.
We're always ready for lunch.
Always. And so the vision really came from Keith and Greg, and they're like, well, let's see if we can change things beforehand. So they went in, they talked with everyone who was attending the 8:15 a cappella service, and with the wholehearted support behind the people of that service, they came in and said, we're going to make a change to that 8:15 time. And what we're going to do is we are going to try and make the services look more seamless across the board. And in order to do that, we're going to change what the worship looks like in 8:15. That means during that first service time, the worship will now have Lucas on the keyboard, Hunter will be playing his guitar, and Jennifer will be singing. The difference will be that it's going to be obviously smaller on the instrument side, and it will all be hymns. So it won't be the contemporary songs as much on the radio, but it will be hymn based. So we want to do that, one, to just give our people in our community just a whole nother option for worship that can bring them in. But also what that means, in order to do that, we want to have it at a little bit of a later time to let people sleep in a little bit more. And we are also going to be offering kids classes during that time. So that way, again, family across the board, all three services, we need something that can attract the community of Irving. So this is what we're going to do. And so they have said very clearly, these are summer times. So we are going to have our first service at 8:45, our second service at 9:30, and our third service at 11:15. Summer times, again, what that means is we don't exactly know how it's all going to unfold. We don't know what's going to be best for our church members, for our volunteers, for our families, and for our community. So they made the decision. They said, let's do this quick. Let's make it happen over the summer, so that way we can see what's going to work best, see what doesn't work, and then in September they will make a final decision on what the times will be and what the services will look like. And that way in September we can gung-ho, blow ahead, move forward, know exactly what we're going to do, and because that is a really heavy season when everyone gets back into school. So let's start it immediately. Let's have the summer. Let's work out those kinks. So we appreciate your flexibility. We normally would want to do this in person, but because of the quick timing and the quick decision making, we're having to do it through this. So Megan's going to talk a little bit more about what that means volunteering in our classrooms.
Yeah, so before I go into that, we'll say the service times again, because I think you said the middle one wrong.
Oh, okay.
If I say it out loud, I'll see if she thinks that there's one wrong, and then it'll just prove that this is so new that we're probably all going to show up at a different time next Sunday, and we're totally going to be graceful about it because it's all brand new. So our first service is going to be at 8:45.
Yes.
Our second service will be at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And our third service will be at 11:15.
Correct. So whatever I said was wrong, because that is right.
8:45, 10 o'clock, and 11:15.
Yes.
Okay, so your question now is probably like, well, what do we do? Because I serve at 9:30 and there's not a service that starts at 9:30. And so here's our game plan. But if you have a change of heart or feedback on what the new schedule does with your family, then we want you to communicate that to us, because we want you to get to worship when you want to and serve when it's best for you. And so our game plan is, if you serve at 9:30 right now, then you would serve at 10 o'clock on this new schedule. And if you serve at 11 o'clock now, you would serve at 11:15 on this next schedule. And so really we still have 3 services like we have had. It's just that if you serve during that second service hour, then we want you to continue to serve in that second service hour. If you serve in the third service hour, we want you to continue to serve in the third service hour. And then 8:45, that new time that we're adding classes to, we're only adding nursery and we're only adding preschool classes. And so we just have a nursery class and a preschool class. And we are going to find new volunteers to serve during that time. So we don't want you to hear that, please come and serve your normal time and come even earlier and serve at our 8:45, or stay later and serve at a different time. We want you to know that your time is valued, and we want you to be really where you have been, because you've built those relationships in the classrooms with those kids that are most likely going to still be coming to that service. And so that's where we want you. We are going to take care of finding new volunteers for that new class time at 8:45. So there's that.
Yeah.
And then, so we said we're doing nursery and preschool at 8:45. We are not doing elementary school. Correct. And here's the reason behind that, because we've had some questions about that. To start off, especially this summer, our heart behind elementary kids is we want them to get to worship with their families. And so we encourage our families to, when they come now, either that they come and they worship first as a family and then their kids go to class. And that also allows for, while their kid is in class, then the parents can have the opportunity to serve and connect with other adults in that way. And so we are still trying to encourage our families to worship together first and then serve. And so right now, if anybody is coming at 8:45 with elementary students, we're encouraging them to worship together and then stay and go to class and serve during the next hour. So that is why we're not offering elementary class at that time. If for some reason this summer we have a booming amount of elementary students that are coming and families are asking for class to be held at that time, we will reevaluate and come up with a decision. But at this time, we're only offering nursery at 8:45 and preschool at 8:45. And we are finding the volunteers for that. We want you to continue to serve where is best for your family. And on that note, if you feel like it's better for you to come and worship at the 8:45, and therefore the time that you serve needs to change, then we want you to be able to let us know that. And so the best way to do that is through email, but also we're going to give you our cell phone numbers as well, because not just with if you have a change in when you want to serve, but if you have any questions about this decision or questions about if you still don't know what time you're going to be serving, or questions about anything, because good grief, I have questions. So then I'm going to call Molly after this video and ask her questions. So we want you to be able to ask us questions, and that's why we would normally do this in person, because we like to hear your questions, because y'all are way smarter than us and you think of things that we don't think of. And so we definitely want to get your questions. You can email both of us, or you can call us on our cell phones. Mine is 254-231-2970.
My cell phone number is 972-571-0969. 9206. If y'all have questions, like Megan said, if you just still don't understand the vision behind what we're doing, or if you are hurt because it was a quick decision and you feel like we weren't able to get in touch with you soon enough, please let us know. We want to be able to talk through that with you. Absolutely. We will take you to coffee, take you to lunch. We can meet you during the week. We can talk on the phone. We'll buy you breakfast on Sunday morning if you want to come up here before. But we don't want to leave anything, any stone unturned, any question untalked about, because you are the foundation of our program. You are what makes it run and tick. You are why the parents come and bring their kids and they feel safe, and why they keep coming over and over. And you are the ones that are making the impact in these families and in these kids' lives, and we cannot do this without you. We appreciate you so much. So from the bottom of our heart, thank you for loving these kids. Thank you for serving, and thanks for being flexible.
Yep. All right. Love you guys.
Love you.